Now, our producer, Mr. William Keeley.
Act 2 of Mr. Blandings Builds His Dream House, starring Irene Dunne as Muriel and Cary Grant as Jim. Well, it's a few days later, and in the office of Mr. Sims, the architect, Jim and Muriel Blandings hear the latest report on their dream house. To wit, an estimate.
$18,000?
That's ridiculous, Mr. Sims.
Well, frankly, with all those extras you've insisted
But we've
upon...
only asked for the barest necessities.
Never mind, dear. It no longer matters. Now, if you'll just send us a bill for your services...
But, Mr. Blandings, now, in the first place,
In the first place, I'm going out to have my head examined. And then I'm going to find the owner of our apartment house and sign a 20-year lease. Goodbye.
Well, if you feel that strongly about
I'm
it.
afraid we do, Mr. Sims. I'm sorry if we've... Jim, look.
Oh, that.
yeah.
Yes, I took the liberty of making a sort of a finished sketch of the house in watercolor.
It even has our name on it. Residence of Mr. and Mrs. James Blandings, Shrunk Mills, Connecticut.
Ah, it's beautiful. Mm-hmm. Residence of Mr. and Mrs. James. Mr. Sims, do you really think you could keep it to $18,000?
Well, now, well. Let's pull up some chairs, shall we?
Well, how's it look, Bill? That's some excavation, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what's going on over there?
Oh, that's Mr. Tizander. He's digging our well. Been here since Monday at $4.50 a foot.
Yeah, I think I better have a little talk with Mr. Tizander. Good morning.
Yep.
How's it coming?
Oh, it's coming.
How far down are you?
Oh, about 150 feet.
Well, isn't that pretty deep?
Yep.
Well, haven't you hit anything at all yet?
Hit some limestone yesterday.
That's good?
That's bad.
Oh,
And right now, looks like we're coming in some shale.
that's bad?
That's good. Of course, it might turn out to be sandstone.
That's bad?
Can't tell. Might be good. Might be bad.
Oh, I see. Thank you.
Just for the record, Mr. Tizander, what's happened to the water?
Oh, it's there all right. Just got to be patient.
And the art department promises the layouts no later than Monday, Mr. Blandings.
Okay, Mary, please type up that copy.
Right.
I'm sorry, Bill, but I've got to work once in a while, you know.
Yeah, well, oddly enough, that's why I'm here. You see, I happen to be closeted with your boss about a little legal work, and he just happened to mention that you haven't come up with one good slogan for Wham Ham.
Well, what's he worrying about? The deadline's months away. Besides, you don't... Oh, just a minute. Hello? Yeah? Okay, put her on. Muriel, Bill. She's up in Connecticut. Yes, Muriel? What? What? Tizander struck water. Mm-hmm. Say, that's wonderful, dear. Hey, Bill, we got our well.
Congratulations.
What's that, Muriel? What do you mean we got two wells? Oh. Well, I'll be right out. Say, how could we have two wells?
I can't wait to find out. Let's go. And so it all happened when Mr. Zucker was excavating, huh?
That's what Mr. Wretch says.
That's right, folks. Why, Zucker almost drowned.
So we've hit a spring of clear, cold, bubbling mountain water right here in our cellar.
And I can't pour a bag of cement until the water's diverted.
Well, hello, Mr. Tizander.
Oh, howdy?
You see, Mr. Tizander, water.
Yep.
At 6 feet.
Yep.
And just over there, you had to go down 227 feet to hit the same water.
Yep.
Now, how do you account for that, Mr. Tizander?
Well, way it appears to me, Mr. Blandings, over here the water's down only 6 feet. But over there, it's down around 227 feet.
Yep.
You got nothing to worry about, Mr. Blandings. Once we get the pumps here, your house will go up in no time.
Yeah, that's fine.
Hey, what's happened to that steam shovel?
Huh? Oh, well, is something wrong, Mr. Zucker?
Oh, no. I just broke my bucket, that's all.
Oh, you hit a boulder, huh?
That's no boulder, that's a ledge.
You know something, Mother? I'll never forget this moment. My family about to cross the threshold of our first real home. I'm sure glad we got kicked out of that apartment. Hey, I don't hear any workmen.
Oh, it's Saturday afternoon. Only the painters are working.
Well, aren't we going in?
Well, no, don't be in such a hurry. You know, dear, Betsy's right. It is a big moment. And I'm going to carry you across the threshold.
Oh, Jim, how sweet.
Watch that sacroiliac, Pop. It's been 15 years since you've tried anything like that.
Oh, that's all you know about it.
No, not in here.
Jim,
Huh?
you better put me down.
Can't
darling.
you read us something? The sign says wet paint.
I haven't touched anything.
Your feet are touching something, ain't they? The floor.
Oh.
I just got through varnishing the floor.
Well, put some planks down or something. How do you expect us to live here if you don't...
Okay, Mac, okay. Take it easy. The Republicans ain't in yet, you know.
Well, wait till I see Sims about this.
Hey, Daddy, come and see what we just found. The windows. We don't have any windows.
Well, we'll see Sims about that, too. What time did he say he'd be here, Muriel?
Well, I think maybe he's here now, darling. He and Mr. Wretch, I think they're out in the back.
Just the man I want to see, Mr. Blandings. Got a few bills here.
Just
I'd
a
like...
minute. What about our windows, Mr. Wretch?
Well, I think I can answer that, Mr. Blandings. There's been a little slip-up.
Oh, the windows were delivered, all right.
Only they weren't the right windows. Those windows belong to a Mr. Landings in Fishkill. I just phoned him.
You mean he's got our windows?
Well, no, Mrs. Blandings. It seems Mr. Landings has some windows that belong to a Mr. Blandsworth in Peekskill.
Well, where are our windows?
Well, as near as we can find out, they've either been sent to a Mr. Banning in Stamford or to a Mr. Ginsburg in Waterbury.
Well, how did Ginsburg get into this?
Well, what are we supposed to do, gentlemen? Spend the rest of our lives in a house without windows?
Just a matter of a few days, Mrs. Blandings. Now, about that rub-dub water soft NR.
The what?
Rub-dub water soft NR.
Well, now, how would I know about that?
Oh, because you've got one, Mrs. Blandings. Furnished and installed for $285.
Well, I didn't order it.
I'm afraid I did, Mrs. Blandings. You see, to save your water pipes. The plumber assured me that the water in your well is the most corrosive in his entire experience in the trade.
Another first. Well, send me the bill.
You've got it. I left it on the kitchen sink.
Well, all right then.
Oh, Padelford's coming this afternoon.
Who authorized a Padelford? Now, first I get a rub-dub and now a Padelford.
He's the painting contractor. Mr. Padelford, I wanted to see him.
Oh, well, okay. Well, just get him over here. Padelford.
Now, first of all, the living room here. I want it to be a soft green, Mr. Padelford.
Uh-huh.
Not a blue green like a robin's egg.
No.
And yet not as yellow as daffodil buds.
Uh-huh.
Now, the only sample I could get's a little too yellow. But don't let whoever does it go to the other extreme get it too blue.
No.
It should be just a sort of a grayish yellow green.
Uh-huh.
Now, the dining room, I'd like yellow. Not just yellow, but very gay yellow. Something bright and sunshiny.
Uh-huh.
I tell you what you do, Mr. Padelford. You just ask that man who's varnishing the floors in there to go down to the grocer and get a pound of their very best butter. And you just match that butter exactly and you can't go wrong. Now, here's the wallpaper we're going to use in the hall. It's flowered. But I don't want the ceiling to match any of the colors of the flower.
No.
No. There's some little dots in the background. See? It's those little dots I want you to match. No, I don't want those greenish dots near the hollyhock leaves.
No.
No, I want those little bluish dots there between the rosebud and the delphinium blossom. Clear?
Uh-huh.
Now, the kitchen's to be white, but not a cold antiseptic hospital white, you know.
No.
I want something warmer, Mr. Padelford, but still not to suggest any other color but white. Now, for the powder room, I brought you a piece of thread, and I want you to match it exactly, and don't lose it. I had an awful time finding it. Now, as you see, the color of the thread is like an apple red. It's somewhere between a healthy wine sap and an unripened Jonathan. Dear. You'll have to excuse me now. I've got to meet a friend of ours at the station.
Hey, Charlie.
It's okay, boss. I've been listening.
Did you get everything?
Sure. Red, green, blue, yellow, and white.
Check.
can't find her.
Huh? Oh, she drove Bill Cole down to the station. She'll be back soon.
Oh.
Well, go unpack another barrel. Help Gussie or something.
I just finished a barrel. And look what I found, Daddy. Uncle Bill's fraternity pin and Mother's diary while she was in college. It's slightly torn.
Oh, now that's none of your business. Now just put that diary down and unpack something else.
I'd say Mother and Uncle Bill were somewhat of an item.
People do not read other people's diaries. It's not a very nice thing to do. Oh. Dear Diary. Tonight, Bill and I drove out to Stover's Point. As we sat there in the moonlight, he started... Holy smoke!
Well, the girls are asleep, Jim. There's no need to be so irritable, dear.
Well, sometimes a man just doesn't feel like talking.
Oh, something wrong at the office?
No.
Got the new slogan for Wham?
It's not due yet.
Well, you're certainly upset about something.
But it's just that I don't happen to approve of falsehood and deception.
What are you talking about?
Oh, nothing. But I distinctly remember you're telling me that you returned Bill Cole's fraternity pin 15 years ago.
That I... What?
Well, did you or didn't you?
Well, did I or didn't I what?
Give it back to him.
Well, of course I did. If I said I did, I did.
Ah, well, then perhaps you'll have the goodness to explain how this happened to fall out of your jewel box.
His fraternity pin. Bill's.
Now, what's so funny?
You're jealous.
If you were so crazy about the guy, why didn't you marry him?
Because I wasn't in love with him.
Well, that's not what you said in your diary.
My what?
Well, it just happened to fall open, and I happened to look at it. It just happened.
Yeah, I'll just bet.
Well, it's all over the book. You were in love with Bill Cole.
Oh, don't be absurd. Of course I was in love with Bill. In those days, I was in love with a new man every week.
Then why did you marry me?
I'm beginning to wonder. It is those big cow eyes of yours. That ridiculous hole in your chin. Maybe I knew you were going to bring me out to this $38,000 icebox with no windows. Or maybe I just happened to fall in love with you, but for heaven's sake, don't ask me why.
Muriel.
What is it?
What are you doing down there on the floor?
Trying to sleep. The moving men forgot our bed.
Oh.
What time is it?
12:30.
Thank you.
I guess I fell asleep downstairs. Muriel, would it do any good to say I'm sorry?
I don't know.
Well, I am. I behaved like a schoolboy, and I'm sorry.
Jim. Oh, Jim. If you hadn't kissed me tonight, I guess I just would have died.
Why do I love you so much?
Darling, it's awfully late. Maybe you ought to go downstairs and lock the doors.
Well, what for? The windows are all open anyway.
Got to get up at 5 o'clock, you know.
5 o'clock? But why?
I forgot to tell you, dear. The railroad just put in a new schedule.
Oh. Well, that means I'll be at the office before 8.
Yes, but if you get there earlier, maybe you can leave earlier.
Yeah, to get home earlier, to go to bed earlier, to get up earlier, so.
Jim.
Yes, dear?
Good night, dear.
Good night.